Welcome to the campus of Loyola Marymount University on the Bluff here in Los Angeles as the Tigers of the University of Pacific get set to take on the Lions of Loyola Marymount University. Welcome inside Gersten Pavilion now. It's going to be a fun one here today. Tigers and Lions, Gary, two teams near the bottom of the conference. Lions dead last at 10th, but looking to climb as we near beyond the halfway point of the season here in the conference.
Yeah, the Lions have had a rough go of it lately. They've got two big conference wins. It's really time for them to get another one, and they're only one game back of Pacific at this point. So every win matters as you get ready for WCC tournament.
Tigers 3-8 in the conference, Lions 2-9. The Lions did fall the Tigers pretty handily up in Stockton just a few weeks ago. See if they can get the better of them here today. It's also Bill Russell Recognition Week in the conference. You can see all student athletes wearing number 6 warm-up shirts, and we'll talk more about that as the broadcast goes on as we honor the late, great Bill Russell. We're going to talk about some players to watch now, and obviously if Bill Russell was here, he'd be that player to watch, but instead we got two fantastic players on each squad. Tell me about Liz Smith and these Pacific Tigers.
Yeah, so Liz Smith has been a force to be reckoned with, and just her last game out against BYU, she had 21 points, 5 for 11 from the field, 9 for 11 from the line, 4 assists, played 38 minutes. I expect her to be on the court almost the entire game today, and the Lions are going to have to reckon with her if they want to have a chance to win this game.
And on the flip side, Cassie Gordon, who did really well in that game at Pacific, struggled recently, but tell me what she brings to the table.
So Cassie Gordon is in many ways a barometer for this team, right? When she's playing effectively, when she starts off strong with those floaters around free throw line, she had 15 points on 4 for 7 field goals and really strong three-point shooting against the Tigers last time, 3 for 5. If she can deliver a performance like that, it goes a long way to giving the Lions another chance to win with their defense against Liz Smith.
Your players to watch today brought to you by University Credit Union, and we'll take a look at your 3 keys today brought to you by TicketSmarter. Gary, what are they?
So we start from the premise that the Lions have struggled to score points. So one of the things they need to do in first key is they need to limit second chance points. If they get a stop on Pacific, they can't allow them to get more points because the Lions don't have as many chances to score points on their own end. And one of the ways they can increase their own scoring output is by creating turnovers, and that's the second key. The third key is something that really goes in every game, but it's where the Lions have suffered. They haven't put their strong energy consistently throughout 4 quarters. We've seen them in spurts. If they could get one game where they string it together for 4 quarters, I think they have a really good chance to come away with the W.
This game just moments away. Lions will look for revenge over the Pacific Tigers. We got more action coming up next. Grab the popcorn, get the candy, buckle those seatbelts. It's Lions, Tigers, and Buckets. Oh my. Today's broadcast is sponsored by University Credit Union, the official credit union of LMU Athletics. By Cedar Sinai. Cedar Sinai is the official health partner of LMU Athletics. Learn more at cedarsinai.org. And by TicketSmarter. Experience the power and excitement of live events with TicketSmarter. Think smart. Think TicketSmarter.
We are the WCC. We are fueled by the conviction to achieve goals without boundaries. recognize and we adapt. We welcome adversity. We are Presidential Medal of Freedom winners, NBA champions, Olympic gold medalists, record breakers, and difference makers. We create change, and we create champions. We are the West Coast Conference.
And welcome inside Kirsten Pavilion on this Thursday evening. It's the Lions and the Tigers set for their second matchup of this short WCC conference season. Brendan and Gary Craig with you. You get set. The Tigers in their road orange with the white numbers, black trim. Lions in their home whites with the red numbers and the red and blue trim. Should be a good one here as Corey Clark and Madeline Ennis get set to tip things off. We'll get you starting lineups in just a moment. Tips away, controlled by the Lions, and here they come. Starting out for your Lions is going to be number 35, Alexis Mark. She's joined by number 1, Nicole Rodriguez, number 2, Cassie Gordon, number 34, Corey Clark, and number 11, Destiny Samuel. Your starters today brought to you by Cedars-Sinai. Ball fumbling around by the Lions. They'll kick out to Gordon. She'll fire a 3. Tried to open things up with a long one. Can't get it done. Here come the Tigers. And on the other side, starting off for them is going to be number 24, our player to watch, Liz Smith. She's joined by number 5, Diamond Richardson, number 14, Elizabeth Elliott, number 30, Sam Ashby, and number 33, Madeline Ennis. Smith, an early 3 to get things going, Gary, and we knew she was going to come out firing away.
Yeah, that was a deep 3. Now they're coming out into press, see if the Lions are able to handle it. So far, so good.
The Tigers absolutely swallowed the Lions up in Stockton at the end of their winter break road trip. It was a loss that the Lions certainly want to avenge here tonight.
Yeah, but if Liz Smith is going to hit from 4 feet beyond the three-point line, it's going to be a long night.
All-time series, Lions lead by 3, 11-8 here in Gersten. They're down by 1, 4 wins, 5 losses for this Lions squad. Done pretty well the last few years. Took out the Tigers both times they visited last year. Close games, though, especially the one here in Gersten.
Yeah, you see Cassie Gordon's got that assignment on Liz Smith.
Ashby a 3, can't hit. Ennis, the offensive board, and the putback is good.
So we talked about that. One of the keys to the game was no second chance points. Lions give it up early. And Ennis did damage last time they played. 9 boards, 5 of them offensive. The Lions cannot allow that to happen.
She's a feisty player, and she's going to come out with some heat, and we already see it right there, trying to deflect the ball out of Samuel's hands. So that's a player they're going to have to keep an eye on. Rodriguez from way downtown.
That's got to feel good. She struggled from the field in the last game on Saturday. Good one going down early.
That bucket brings the Lions within 2, 5-3 here early as Clark comes up with the steal over Elliott.
And Clark has the size advantage. Elliott did a good job using her body last possession, but this one, Clark got the better of it.
There's Ennis again disrupting the offense. Clark working on Elliott, drops the shoulder off the glass, no good.
I like the idea you go into her left, but she was falling away. Good call. She started running before she dribbled.
So Sam Ashby, Liz Smith, the 2 leading scorers from that last game. Ashby, 18 points, 7 of 14 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, and why not add 6 rebounds in there just for good measure?
Yeah, and if she's got a 10-point per game average, that 18 was showing she got anything she wanted against the Lions. They're going to have to D her up as well as Liz Smith.
And Ashby is someone that can shoot the 3 shot just under 32% this season, but we've seen her absolutely hand it to the Lions from downtown as Clark picks up an early foul, something Coach has talked about.
Yeah, and that's something we see. I mean, Corey Clark wants to get a turnover, and I appreciate that, but she can't be, 45 feet away from the defensive bucket getting fouls. They just can't afford that. She just made a nice play on Elliott on the prior possession for Pacific. Now she's got to be a little more tentative with that foul.
3 minutes into this one, Corey Clark picks up the first foul for either squad.
The Lions have switched to a zone defense.
Richardson can't get it to go. Elliott has it deflected away into the hands of Sequoia Alman, who introduces herself for us as she drives coast to coast. Dump off to Clark, fights her way through traffic, can't get the bucket.
A little surprised there was no call. There was definitely some contact. But again, the Lions had active hands, created the turnover. That's the way they can get easy buckets, just not on that particular possession.
Elliott, the dump off to Ennis, who couldn't handle the pass initially. Smith from way outside
That's 2.
What can you do about it?
Well, you just have to D her up wherever she is. You don't want her to drive on you, but you just can't let her shoot those open threes when she's proven she can hit them.
Gordon tries to answer with one of her own.
Good rebound by Mark. She lost it, though.
Behind the back pass, Richardson to the cup.
So that was reminiscent of a Steph Curry pass, but it was successful. Cassie didn't want to take another 3. She wasn't pleased with that last one failing to go down.
0 for 2 from downtown today is Cassie Gordon.
She's still our player to watch. She just needs to get her shot off around the free throw line.
Almond drives through traffic, kick to Gordon. Still can't hit.
And you see they're only getting one opportunity. That's what the Lions need to make sure is happening on the other end.
Lob pass to Elliott over the head, and it'll bring some subs into the game. Amaya Oliver and Aspen Adams join the action for Kari Clark and Nicole Rodriguez. And we'll see the first of Erica Adams, wearing number 20 in orange.
So again, Pacific's been pressing the whole game. It's not been a particularly aggressive press, but it's just an aggressive defense overall that they're playing. The Lions have not yet proven they can work well against it.
Tigers certainly not known as a pressing team, but in a conference with some pretty strong pressing foes, and not surprised to see it here today.
Oh, nice
what a pass. Mark double clutches and gets fouled. She'll head to the line. Bradley Davis, head coach of the Tigers in his 8th season, perplexed.
Well,
As you take a look at Erica Hughes in her 2nd season at the helm for the Lions.
Both teams very active on the substitutions. I know that makes your job harder, but for the players, it should keep fresh legs throughout the game.
School's getting their money worth as we see Rosie Schweitzer into the game, as well as Cecilia Holmberg.
So this is an opportunity for the Lions. They've, got some subs in there. Liz Smith is still out there. She's got 6 of their 8 points. I just wouldn't let her get an open shot from anywhere on the court.
Mark can't hit either. Free throw shooting has been much better for her this season, but on that trip, she's 0 for.
So that's a problem. We mentioned this in the opening. Team that doesn't score a lot can't afford to miss out on free opportunities.
Ashby from downtown, no good. The Tigers averaging 14 more points a game than the Lions, clocking in near 70. Lions just under 56 a game.
Yeah, I was just going to say it was a good box out by Maya Oliver.
Blocks called down low on Holmberg.
So Sequoia Almond is really the Lions player that can put pressure on the opposing defense. She drives to the cup, creates opportunities, in that case got a foul.
We'll step aside here. First break in the first quarter. Lions trail 8-3. More action and more shots from way outside coming up next. Woo, it's pretty.
At Cedars-Sinai, we're right here for Los Angeles. Here for the athletes, the fans, and all your MVPs. Here with hustle, heart, and a deep roster of talent. Here for pep talks, victory celebrations, and big comebacks. Because here, no matter what you're up against, we'll give you everything we've got. Cedars-Sinai, proud to be #1 in California and #2 in the nation.
Welcome back to Gershman Pavilion. 8-3 lead, an early one here for the Tigers. Up on the Lions, Gary, you just mentioned the shooting has been for lack of a better word, abysmal here for the Lions to start.
Yeah, and we've seen too many quarters and then too many games where their shooting percentage just not going to get it done. They're at 16.7% right now. They need to have a better output in the remaining part of this first quarter.
4:35 to go and ticking. Skoyaman has been out for a bit of time with a foot injury, looking to get things going here.
So again, 2 seconds left. They got to get a shot off.
Half court heave.
Oh!
It's good! Nicole Rodriguez.
Hey, did she call bank? I don't care. It went in. They needed that bucket.
What a shot from Nicole Rodriguez. Not what coach wanted, but what can you say? 3 points on the board. It draws the Lions within 2.
You know, the crowd really came to life with that one. Let's see if it sparks the Lions on the court.
Holmberg, an easy bucket off the glass.
So they were in a zone defense with only Amaya Oliver down low, and that was basically 2-on-1. Tigers convert. Good help defense by the Tigers.
Rodriguez the pull-up. Jay off the mark.
You know, the problem was she was too close.
Smith, the outlet pass. It's Schweitzer.
Travel.
Stops. And travels.
You know, credit that to Aspen Adams for disrupting it.
So a couple key injuries to look at here tonight, Gary. On the Tigers side, Anaya James, who's been phenomenal for this squad. 7 WCC All-Freshman accolades last season. She's out. She was out against BYU, out here tonight. Haven't heard why necessarily. On the Lions side, Ari Johnson and Layla Curry still out with their injuries. Don't have a timeline for when they'll return, but they will not be entering this game today.
Yeah, and you know, this time of the season you can have that, right? They played a lot of games. Lions basically struggle without Ari Johnson. That's a good foul call. But Anaya James is a big loss for the Tigers.
I think everybody on the Tigers side royally disagreed with you on that one.
Well, they didn't have the angle I had, though, right? I had a
Yes,
better angle.
yes.
They were blocked by their own player.
Yes, exactly. That gives us a moment to introduce our officials. Referee Teresa Turner. She's assisted by Nicole Leone and Alex Carroll.
Now, Lions only have 13 seconds left. They need to get to work.
Gordon went to work but couldn't finish the job.
Looks like the Lions are back in the man-to-man defense. Oh, Cassie Gordon got to be careful.
Katie Deaton into the game for the Tigers, snuck in on us. Madeline Ennis streaks inside, fouled and one.
You know, she's not only a fiery player, but she's strong, right? She absorbed the contact and finished with the reverse. Let's see if we see the replay. That was a nice move by her. Look at that. She's got contact, no problem.
Aspen Adams takes a seat. Noelle Yancey into the game. Erica Adams also takes a seat. And Sam Ashby back out there and immediately gets the O-board off the free throw.
That's not going to go in, but you got to be careful when you're guarding Liz Smith. She will shoot from anywhere.
A quick release, too. Not afraid to throw that one up.
Unlike her prior 2 shots that were just pure, that one was off from the moment it left her hand.
Gordon, that's her shot right there. Can't hit on that.
Now, Cassie Gordon starting off slowly, but she will come to life before this is over.
Rodriguez and Smith get tangled up. Foul's going to be on Rodriguez.
You know, this is so far for the Lions on offense, the Nicole Rodriguez show. Got 2 threes, including that really miraculous half-court shot.
6 points on 2 of 2 from downtown as that ball trickles out of bounds.
Give credit to Noelle Yancey. She didn't get beaten on the back door, so that was good defensive play by her.
12-6, the Lions have struggled in the first half these last few games. Gonzaga was really the anomaly, which is odd to say. Top team in the conference, always a team that really everybody struggles with, but they handled them beautifully. Portland, it was another story in the first half.
Oh, nice move by Kari Clark. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes you get really fired up for those tough games like they did against Gonzaga, but you can't follow that up with a lackluster offensive performance like they had against Portland.
Right here today, only 8 points is
Ooh.
Katie Deaton.
Ooh, I didn't see that coming. She's shooting 28.6% from 3, but
Whew.
No hesitation.
Pretty three-point shot, not a three-point shooting team either. 32% on the season are the Tigers as Clark mid-range. Jay
Nice.
is good.
Back-to-back buckets for Kari Clark. That should build her confidence.
Liz Smith again, and it's good.
Yeah, I don't know if they've lost her in transition, but you can't afford to do that. She's 3 for 4 from 3, I think, at this point. Leading scorer in the game with 9.
Ball's tipped away. Here come the Tigers. Deaton, a step around and a bucket.
So this is another one of those tough quarters for the Lions where the other team just doesn't seem to be missing. They're shooting 61.5%, even though the Lions are on 10 points, which is more than they've been scoring in a lot of quarters.
And on the season, the Tigers 41% from the field. By no means is that a poor number, but it's certainly not 61%.
Yeah, again, they're getting a lot of easy buckets down low. And then Liz Smith.
Under 5 on the shot clock. Rodriguez pulls up for a 3. Too much.
Yeah, rushed it. She had no choice. End the shot clock. Got to credit the defense.
Tigers can hold for the final shot here.
Noelle Yancey needs to probably close about another 1.5 feet of that distance on Liz Smith.
Takes a hard screen, tries to dump off to Schweitzer off the foot of Clark. Deaton can't get a shot off. It's Ashby for 3. Ends the quarter with a bucket, and the Tigers are fired up as they head to the second, up by 13.
That's a tough one to swallow right there. Play good defense for about 24 seconds, and Sam Ashby 3 at the end does damage.
Another tough first quarter for the Lions. Can they pick it up in the second? We'll find out. Don't go anywhere. You're watching LMU Women's Basketball on the WCC Network. Is it Cassie? Is he talking about the half-court shot? Okay. Thank you.
Get great seats, safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. Choose great seats from over 125,000 live events, all backed with a TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Get your tickets smarter at ticketsmarter.com.
Welcome back. Take a look at this again. This wasn't to end the quarter. It was to beat the shot clock. Send that into SportsCenter Top 10. Nicole Rodriguez fires up the bench. I really thought that was going to be the momentum the Lions needed. Even up a half-court shot mid-court, you don't see it that often.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Pacific was unfazed, and they got a big lead here to start the second. The Lions have to get this lead down within single digits to really be in a good position going into the second half.
Good defense to start, kept alive by Ennis, though. Ashby, the pull-up J, no good. Trails out the goal line's way. On the court for your Lions, Maya Oliver, Alexis Mark, Kari Clark, Nicole Rodriguez, Cassie Gordon. For the Tigers, the same, except we'll see the entrance of Elizabeth Elliott. Liz Smith takes a seat, as well as Rosie Schweitzer.
The Lions did improve their shooting percentage in that second part of the first quarter. They're now up to 30%.
Mark drives, not strong enough, but they'll call a foul. Mark on the season shooting 78.4% from the line. Certainly a massive turnaround from last season. Couldn't knock down the first two here. We'll see if she can turn that around on this trip to the Charity Stripe. Can't hit it again.
So there's two problems. One, the Lions need all these free points, but second is she needs the confidence boost. If this one will go down, I think it might help her. Just sometimes seeing the ball go through the net can make a difference. Good sign.
That one goes through 23-11 here early. If you're just joining us, Lions with only 10 points in that first quarter. It is an improvement from past quarters we've seen. Alluding to the Portland game, the BYU game, games that the Lions want to forget, but unfortunately quarters like that remind us of them.
Yeah, but the problem is they gave up 23 to Pacific, and they're going to have to put a lid on that before this quarter's over.
Lions hounding the Tigers on defense. Elliott still strong to the cup, and an even stronger rebound by Kari Clark.
Give Amaya Oliver all the credit on defense. Amaya Oliver just calling for it down low. She's got height, position on Ennis. Oh, that time Rodriguez was looking for her. She wasn't available. Empty trips. They add up for you.
And Liz Smith back into the game. Diamond Richardson takes a seat.
Look at the three-point percentage for Pacific, 62.5%. They're only shooting 56.2 from the field. And most of that is Liz Smith.
Ball batted around, back inside now. It's Amaya Oliver to bring it up. 8:30 and some change to go in this second quarter. Mark to the cup again and one.
Oh, nice move. Hey, maybe that free throw going down inspired her.
Bradley Davis to the ground, screaming, what?
Let's see the replay. Oh, yeah, well, Ennis was moving. I mean, from my angle.
It's all about the angles, isn't it?
It's about the angle. See, he didn't have the angle I had.
We all have different angles on life, Gary.
Hey, coach's angle is always that his player didn't commit the foul, so I don't dispute that for him. Now Alexis Mark on Liz Smith. She cannot let her alone.
Erica Adams back in the action as well for the Tigers. That ball rattles out. Mark rebounds it off the face of Maya Oliver, and here come the Lions on the fast break.
I like Sequoia Almond pushed the pace, but then held it up.
Mark driving side, kick to Rodriguez, whistle blown, offensive foul.
I didn't see it. Did Alexis Mark commit the foul?
It is Alexis. A little out of control when she dumped that ball off. It's going to be her first personal, first team foul.
Keep an eye out right now. Ennis has 2 fouls. She's in the game. She could pick up that third here. She's been a big factor for the Tigers. Oh, push off by Elizabeth Elliott.
Whistle blown, fouls called. It's going to be on Ennis.
Did you see? There's that third one. We were just talking about it. I don't know if Coach realized.
I did see the push off by Elliott.
Again, all about the angles. There's Ennis coming out probably about 30 seconds too late for Coach's liking, now that she's going to probably sit the remainder of the 7:46.
And that's a tough loss for the Tigers. Certainly brings a lot of fire and energy to the court for this Tigers squad. 23-14, Lions have drawn it within 9, 7:38 to go. Like
I said, they got to be under 10 when they go into the second half.
Second half has been a strong point for the Lions in the latter half of this season, as Amaya Oliver wasn't ready for that pass.
Nice.
Kari Clark was ready to clean it up, though, and puts it home. Timeout called by Bradley Davis and the Tigers.
Fatal mistake by Sydney Ward, which is tossing it back in on your defensive end. You can't do that. Your instinct is to save the ball, but it went right to Kari Clark.
That's going to extend to the media. We'll step aside, and we'll keep it right here.
There it is. Just saw the play. Kari Clark, she's had some nice buckets, right? She's got 6 so far in the game, if I'm not mistaken. She's got 6. Rodriguez has 6. Go along with a point for 4 points from Alexis Mark. So the Lions, definitely strong for this beginning second quarter. We'll take a break and we'll be back.
You got it.
LMU is located in Silicon Beach, Los Angeles, and we're making waves around the world. We are rooted in a 500-year tradition of academic excellence. We are filmmakers, teachers, and scientists. We are artists, lawyers, and entrepreneurs. We research, we create, we think, we dream. We live lives of meaning, purpose, and impact. We lead for the common good, and we do it all from here. We are LMU.
So, Gary, clearly Bradley Davis saw something he did not like there. What do you think that was?
What he didn't like?
He called the timeout pretty quick after that.
Well, they've cut into the lead 6 points. He's got one of his fire plugs in Ennis on the bench. He's probably got to get his team focused again. That's what I think he's trying to do.
23-16 may have been a dumb question, but, you know.
No, it was a
throw it
good
out
question. I just trying to keep up with you. Hey. Oh, I thought it was off on Tigers, but.
It's all about the angles, Gary, right?
Is, and on that one I was blocked. Couldn't see very well. Good call, Brendan. Oh, no. What is she doing so wide open?
Knocking down a three, that's what it is.
How do you let her be so wide open?
26-16. The Tigers extend it back to double digits with 6:53 and taking to go.
That'll slow your momentum if you're the Lions.
Oliver looking to go to work. Can't get it home. Back up again, and she gets it home.
Hey, that's what I like to see. That first shot was not her strong move. The second one, she did it strong. And really, that probably is the first offensive rebound that the Lions have gotten.
Almond went for the steal there. Instead, they're going to call it a foul. Cassie Gordon to the bench. Alexis Mark back in the game.
So no other players in foul trouble on the court right now, but Holmberg has 2 fouls. I didn't notice those got picked up.
I didn't either. Explain why we have not seen her in a bit. Elliott looking to go to work, can't do it.
Credit to Clark on the defense.
March streaking down, deflected by Adams. Gets her own rebound, puts it back up, and in for Alexis Mark.
One of the keys was energy. Big energy from Alexis Mark, and on the prior play by Oliver. No open shots now, Lions.
Good closeout by Oliver.
You got to get out on her. Liz will take it from anywhere.
All deflected away, the Lion crowd's coming to life. Tie up down low, jump ball. It's Lion ball.
You can feel the energy from the Lions has gone up exponentially in this quarter, and especially since that timeout.
Take a look at this. She'll miss the shot, rip her own rebound away, fight through contact, up and in. Alexis Mark is a strong player.
Well, she's strong and she's very long, so she's able to get her arms up where, you know, some of the shorter players can't reach, and then she ripped it out, like you said. Ball's gotten a little stagnant.
10 on the shot clock. Samuel looks off the three. Instead, it's a 15-footer off the mark. Rebound by Mark, blocked from behind. It'll stay Lion ball, though.
Got to give credit to Alexis Mark for offensive rebounds. One on her own miss, and that one on Destiny Samuel's miss.
6 points, 4 boards for Mark on 2 of 3 from the field.
Alexis Mark definitely has an advantage on Erica Adams.
Nancy looking to drive on Smith. Kicks it out to Rodriguez. She'll fire away, and she'll hit it home.
Nice shot. Good offensive movement. Something we don't see as much as we'd like to.
One possession game in Gersten. 26-23. Lions have outscored the Tigers 13-3 in this second quarter.
And they're on a 7-0 run.
Already scored 3 more points than they did in the entire first. We're only halfway through the second quarter. A good steal, and here come the Lions in transition. Mark to Clark.
I thought she got pushed. I thought she got pushed in the back, but an offensive rebound created by Alexis Mark.
Rodriguez again.
Oh,
The heat check a little
Yeah.
bit too much. Clark flies in, deflects it out of bounds. That was close to another foul from Kari Clark.
but that was a heat check for sure.
Diamond Richardson into the game as well as Sam Ashby. Kari Clark takes a seat. Amaya Oliver joins the action.
I don't think Liz Smith has been out at all during this game.
She definitely has taken a seat a couple
All
times,
right.
but not for long.
But she's still on the 9 points she had in the first, so they've done a good job on her.
Smith twitches, drops the shot in, can't get it to go.
Bodies everywhere.
Kick ball. Somehow the ref saw that in all that mayhem. There were bodies flying everywhere on the court.
You know I say a lot about calls I think should be made, but I never could have seen what that ref saw on
No.
that one. I mean, that was very good officiating. Good battle down low with Oliver and Elliott.
Elliott's a physical player. She drives it on Oliver and puts it home.
Yeah, nice move. Good defense, better offense. The pressure is more token rather than, trapping or anything like that.
We've seen that from the Lions at times as well.
Pretty good defense by Deaton on Alexis Mark.
Oliver to the cup and one.
Now there was a lot of passing and a great look by Samuel, who passed up the shot for a better one that Oliver could get and won. Here it is on the replay. Watch this. Whoop. Good finish by Oliver.
So Deaton will be called for the foul. It's going to be her first personal, 14 foul in the quarter. One more and the Lions are at the line for the remaining time in this quarter. Oliver converts on the three-point play, draws the Lions within two.
They've made up, 11 points of the 13-point deficit at the end of the first?
16-5, they've outscored the Tigers here in the second. It's been a tale of two quarters in this game so far.
Don't use your hands, Cassie. Use your legs.
And she does use her hands and is called for the foul.
Again, she's so quick and so athletic, she can't avoid those fouls without reaching and still be aggressive on defense. Good
Lob
steal.
pass from Smith, taken away by Rodriguez. She'll look to drive inside. Circus shot too much. Can't get her own board. Richardson looks to pass ahead. Mark was there for the deflection. Liz Smith dump off to Ashby, dump off the glass and in.
That was a textbook fast break. 2-on-1, executed to perfection.
30-26, 3 minutes to go. Pull up Jay from Gordon is no good.
Another offensive rebound. This time Amaya Oliver.
Rodriguez down baseline, offensive foul, drove the shoulder into Smith. Maybe sold it a little bit, but
Yeah, I didn't have the right angle, but I think that was a good call. So what a turnaround for the Lions, right? And we could talk about shots going in, we could talk about offensive rebounds, but to me it all stems from the energy, our third key to the game. They brought the energy much better in the second quarter.
Richardson, a pull-up J is good, a pretty shot. 6-point lead back in the hands of the Tigers.
I think it was wise for Oliver to pass up the three.
10 on the shot clock now. Almond dribbling it out.
Now they're going to have to push it.
And she does to the cup, draws the foul. To the line she goes.
Again, that's what that's what Sequoia Almond does that no one else on the Lions does, is create at the bucket.
Foul's going to be on Schweitzer. It's her first, team limit in the quarter. Tough
Lions
miss.
free throw shooting is leaving something to be desired so far, and those points are likely to matter towards the end.
That's 4 points left off the board right now from the line. Almond converts. That makes it a 5-point lead for the Tigers. Under 2 to go in this quarter in the first half.
Good job fighting over the screen by Mark, fighting through the screen. Do we have a switch to a zone defense by the Tigers? We do. It's a 2-3. It takes a moment for the Lions to recognize it.
Oliver from downtown, too much.
Yeah, that's not the ideal shot. There's going to be space open in the middle of the zone defense. They just got to be patient and find it.
Coach Hughes has talked about it as Smith fires her own 3 off the mark. Whistle blown, fouls called. It's going the Lions' way. It's going to be on Elizabeth Elliott.
I thought Kari Clark did a good job boxing out. I was surprised she didn't get the rebound. She got fouled. If I'm looking at the stats right, Lions are 3 for 9 from 3, 4 for 8 from threes. Those are pretty similar, and they should be able to shoot a lot better from the free throw line.
Well, and Coach Hughes has talked about the fact that the Lions aren't a 3-point shooting team. And so at times it's baffling to her to see her squad just firing away from downtown when it's not their game, and they know it's not their game.
Yeah. No, and you know, look, sometimes you see those open shots, you're inclined to take it. But let's comment on something real quick. At the end of the first quarter, the Lions had no offensive rebounds. They now have 6. That's a pretty impressive turnaround in the second quarter.
Clark rattles one home.
We don't often see the Lions get that Hank's house roll, but
No.
they did on that one.
At times I wonder if this is our home court or not.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's settling in the back half of the conference season.
We're officially halfway through on the home stretch on the home side.
Hey, 2 for 2 from the line.
Right?
Kari Clark's got a big, 8 points already? 7 points. Excellent. 8, they just updated. That's even better. I was a little surprised because my internal calculator said 8, but
Gotta love that internal calculator.
it only goes up to 10. Don't get too excited. All right, there's a turnover while I was distracting you.
Oh. Adams gets it to go. Knotted up at 32 with under a minute to go. Aspen Adams comes in the game and puts one home. What a big shot from the senior.
Schweitzer is just calling for it. She's all the way out. Oh,
Gets
so
it off
close.
the screen,
Oh,
fouled by
no!
Almond to the cup and one.
They played such good defense, only to have Schweitzer make a great play and get an and one, possibly extend this lead. Credit where credit is due. Lions, I said, had to be within 10. They've come, well, within single digits. They've done that and much more.
They've doubled up the Tigers here in the second quarter. 22 for the Lions, 11 for the Tigers.
Pacific finished off this quarter pretty well because there was a stretch where they were just not making anything.
Schweitzer converts a 3-point play. And the Lions will finish off this quarter with the ball, presumably. They can run the clock out under 20 now.
With that kind of pressure defense by Diamond Richardson, someone set a screen. Free up Rodriguez.
A little bit of movement down low, but really not much. Here comes Clark for the screen, can't get there in time. Rodriguez kept it herself, pull up 2 off the rim, no good. Schweitzer with the board, and she will not heave it full court. We'll talk with Coach Hughes in just a moment. We'll step aside. More action up next. LMU men's and women's basketball season tickets are on sale now. Come join the Pride on the Bluff and get yours today at lmulions.com/tickets. Lots of exciting games coming up. Conference play is about to get underway for the men, and it's already cooking for the ladies. We'll see you in just a little bit. Get those season tickets online, lmulions.com/tickets. And we're joined by Coach Hughes at the half. Coach, it was a tale of two quarters. What was the conversation in between the first and the second that inspired your squad to that second quarter?
I think whatever rotation we had when we were in that 1-3-1 really caused a lot of defensive struggles for Pacific. We were able to turn them over 12 times and then just kind of get them out of the rhythm. Clearly with them being able to shoot so hot from the three-point line in that first quarter, that really killed us. We were able to get some stops, get out in transition, make some easy baskets, but we got to play a whole nother half, so we'll see.
We'll see you in the second half, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brendan.
More coming up at the half. You're watching LMU Women's Basketball on the WCC Network.
At University Credit Union, we're a different kind of financial institution because we were founded over 70 years ago by the university community for the university community. Our experts put our member owners first by offering personalized advice on savings and investing and competitive loan rates to help you on your financial journey. Bank with your brain and get a financial advantage because you deserve more than a bank. You deserve a partner committed to your financial success. Learn more and join today at ucu.org.
Coming up for your Lions, it's one more at home. The Gales of St. Mary's make their way into Gerson this Saturday. Catch them at 3 p.m. here on the WCC Network. And then the almighty Toreros and the Cougars. San Diego BYU next week on the road before coming back for some PCH Cup action here in Gerson Pavilion on Saturday, February 18th. That's family weekend, so come have some fun with us here in Gerson or on the road in the next couple weeks. You could hear the interview, right?
Yeah, she turned it up.
Welcome back at the half. Lions trail only by 3, and at the end of the first, that was certainly not a line I thought I was going to be saying at halftime. Let's take a look at some halftime highlights brought to you by Ticket Smarter. And it was certainly raining from downtown early.
Yeah, there's the
Tigers.
best one we saw was the half court.
Yeah, seriously.
But look, the first quarter was all Pacific, and Ennis was huge. When she went out with that third foul, that was when the Lions really started to pour it on.
That was a big turning point to the negative for this Tigers squad. They kind of lost their spark, it felt like.
But, 6 for 10 from 3 for the Tigers in the first half. That's pretty good. There's a dagger at the end of the first.
And we've seen Ashby fire away from 3 in this very gym. Alexis Mark, some good finishes as well. But it'll be interesting to see what comes out in the third quarter. Will it be Ashby from downtown? Liz Smith went cold in the second. Will she be back firing away? Those are big buckets for this Tiger squad.
Yeah, and we just saw an Aspen Adams 3. We saw a very strong move right there by Schweitzer.
Absolutely fired up. Take a look at some halftime stats here. The field goal percentage, if we looked at first quarter versus second quarter, it is night and day, and really maybe the first half of the first quarter. 37% for the Lions, quite nice. 54% from the Tigers, though, is well above average for them.
Yeah, and they've been shooting strong throughout the game. And look at their 60% from 3. I mean, that's key, but for the Lions, they have a free throw advantage. Imagine if they had hit even just 2 more, it'd be a 1-point game. So they're going to need to deliver from the line.
Well, and at the end of the first quarter, you pointed out the Lions were trailing 12-4 in rebounds. They significantly made up for that in the second quarter.
Well, and in particular, they got 6 offensive boards in the second after none in the first. So that was a combination of really determined focus and energy. And then look at the turnovers, right? More turnovers for the Tigers. Lions defense created that. I think Coach Hughes talked about that in your halftime interview about how they were, in their 1-3-1 zone, they were able to do some switches and create some turnovers.
Just about 5 minutes left in halftime. 20 more minutes of action coming up in just a moment. Stick with us here on the WCC Network. You're watching LMU Women's Basketball. Yeah, that's gone.
Your gum? Your chewed gum? Oh. I was like, that's okay if that's lost.
Well, some people do. You never know. Wait. So I'll just let you say it started with the steal.
Yeah.
Sophia, is it Mentos? Oh, okay. Sorry. I tried. I got fruity gum. You said nah. You want some? I don't even.
She already said no.
It's watermelon. Yeah, you said no. You don't want my gum. Nah, you don't want my gum. Sophia wants my gum. Nah, you don't want. It's watermelon. It's watermelon. You want some? No, it's not mint. Watermelon. What? Yeah. Got you. Okay. You're welcome. The key moment or the Ava. Thank you so much. Thanks. Cool. Ooh. Hot or good? Fresh. Oh, that's striking. Okay, perfect. You said player stats first.
Get great seats, safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. Choose great seats from over 125,000 live events, all backed with a TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Get your tickets smarter at TicketSmarter.com.
WCC tournament right around the corner, Gary. We're nearing it. Take a look at some player stats here. Nicole Rodriguez, 9 points, leading the way for the Lions. On the other side, Liz Smith, 9 points. But again, a lot of those were scored in that first quarter.
Well, yeah, interestingly, both Nicole Rodriguez and Liz Smith had 3 3-pointers. But Nicole Rodriguez half court was special.
Kari Clark, 8 points also. Fantastic production from her in the first half. We got to see her stick with it in the second. That's a big part of it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. She's got an advantage down low. She needs to use it.
We always like to highlight the special moments here and take a look at this photo. Again, recognize anyone. Ava Toon, Liz Smith, fantastic 2 players for these squads, both coming from IMG Academy down in Florida. These 2 played 3 years together. Liz was Ava's point guard. And so when I talked to Ava today, she said it's so weird seeing Liz out there in a different uniform. And it's even weirder going up there and setting screens on Liz because she's used to getting it off those pick and rolls, used to moments like this, hanging out, doing some work, just having a good time with her. And although after this game is over, they'll chat it up, they'll text each other, they'll have a good time. They said they had a good time looking for these photos. When it's on the court, it's all business.
Yeah.
And it's always special to see these moments. I mean, coming all the way from Florida, both these players, Liz from Dallas, Texas, Ava from Brooklyn, New York, met up at IMG Academy, and here they are today in LA playing against each other in D1 basketball.
Yeah, and Liz Smith has been showing out. Now the Lions are going to have to keep a lid on her. Can't let her get hot from three again the way she did to start the game.
I'd love to see Ava Toon get some action. We've seen her in spurts this season trying to get her rhythm, but it would be so awesome to see her, especially in this game, playing against her high school teammate in Liz Smith.
Yeah, agreed.
We'll start things back off here. 20 minutes to go, folks. Lions trail by 3 as we enter the third quarter. 35-32. Cecilia Holmberg instead opens up scoring for the Tigers.
That's a good start for the Tigers. I'm sure the coach had a lot to say to them during halftime about their second quarter performance.
37-32. We've talked about the turnaround of some programs. This specific program, under the leadership of Bradley Davis, has really turned in the last few years.
Oh, look at that strong move by Kari Clark.
To the cup, double figures for the senior.
I think she heard you, and she continued where she left off. Oh, that's a charge.
And
Yes.
it is Elizabeth Elliott called for it. Who takes it? Kari Clark.
And Kari Clark has unfortunately picked up a lot of fouls during games, but on this one, she stood strong. Is that going to be 3 on
That is
Elliott?
third personal, first team foul.
So Ennis is now got 3 along with Elliott, and Ennis is still on the bench. She didn't come out to start. 2 big players for the Tigers who are in serious foul trouble.
And Elliott was in trouble in that last game against the Lions. Only saw about 14 minutes in that contest. She had 4 personal fouls on that night. Still some decent production, 3-0. Boers is an offensive foul the other way. It's going to be on Alexis Mark, so
A little too aggressive on the screen. So now Alexis Mark and Nicole Rodriguez both with 2, presenting some foul trouble for the Lions. And Holmberg has 2 for the Tigers.
take a foul, give a foul.
Schweitzer is trying to get position on Clark down low.
Clark gets a hand in there. Schweitzer just heaves one up. Dump off to Holmberg instead. That shot's off the mark. Another offensive board. Will they get it? They will. Holmberg into the bench, and it's taken away by the Lions. Mark full steam ahead. Too much. Blocks called on Smith. And the right call. She's frustrated, but she didn't have position.
Right, and Alexis Mark puts a lot of pressure on you when she's on a fast break because she is a force. Look at this. Yeah, you could see Liz Smith was leaning, so she was not in a stationary position.
Well, I would be too if I saw Alexis Mark running at me.
No doubt.
She'll knock down the first from the line. I don't mess with Alexis. She'll come right at you. Full steam ahead, coast to coast.
We are much better off being behind this little table here.
And it's really not even just the coast to coast. You'll see her hustle for plays, for rebounds. It's the speed, the aggressiveness, the explosiveness that she brings to the court that is unique to this Lions squad for sure.
Yeah.
Schweitzer again, blocked by Clark.
Nice block. Kari Clark doing it in all phases of the game.
And she gives the Lions a chance to take their first lead of the evening. What a pass from Samuel. Dump off to Clark, and the bucket.
That is the kind of teamwork with passing that we don't see enough, and they're plenty capable of it.
38-37, the Lions are back in control, but they can't get too ahead of themselves. Lots of basketball to be played. Smith, a hesitation, and a bucket.
Well, sometimes your team's best player has to step up, and that's what Liz Smith did on that play.
All good kick out. Samuel looks to work back inside. It's Clark from the baseline. Can't get it to go. Samuel pulls a rebound out. Rodriguez, no good.
I thought we were about to have a Kari Clark heat check.
Samuel streaking back to get Schweitzer. She won't get there in time. Schweitzer gets the bucket and puts the Tigers ahead by 3.
So that was a lapse, all right? They just didn't follow Schweitzer, who ran back and got it rewarded with an easy layup.
Oh, what a pass and what a finish, Corey Clark.
Destiny Samuel just made up for it with a beautiful pass, and Clark now has 12.
I think it's going to be 14 once they update that.
All right, leading scorer in the game either way.
Holmberg's shot rattles around. Clark hits the deck. Richardson the rebound. Bodies all over. Gordon trapped in the corner. They'll escape with the ball here.
Good hustle.
Timeouts called by Coach Hughes and the Lions. It'll extend to the media timeout. We'll step aside. We'll be back in just a moment. Lions trail by 1. The under 5. Correct. 6:31 to go here in this third quarter. Lions trail by 1. This game always seems to have some good energy. It's no Pepperdine LMU rivalry, but maybe the orange uniforms, I don't know, they feel like they're playing Pepperdine. Both teams always seem to bring the heat when they face each other.
Yeah, and you know what? Nothing like having a good basketball game. And in the first quarter, I wasn't sure, but it's really taken on a very good pace for both teams.
Gordon inside. Her step back two is good.
Got to feel good for Cassie.
42-41. We're just swapping leads back and forth here. Smith, too much, right into the hands of Holmberg, taken away by Gordon.
And Cassie just jumped up and ripped that ball away.
Outlet pass to Clark, tries to dump it off to Mark, just a little too fast.
Good idea, just couldn't execute. It was a little too, like you said, too fast. Well, this is a key time for the Lions with two very important Tigers on the bench with 3 fouls each in Ennis and Elliott.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Ennis yet. Are you expecting to see her in this third?
Oh, absolutely. I think they're just trying to protect her from getting an additional foul.
Whistle blown. Foul's called on Gordon. It'll be a block. It's going to be her second personal, second team foul in the quarter.
I am noticing a little bit of a wrap on Ennis's ankle, so it's possible that she's nursing a little bit of a injury there. We'll just have to keep an eye on it.
Take a look again. Yep. Gordon on the move. Smith struggling on the inbound, finds a streaking Deaton.
Deaton has really come up pretty strong. She's got 10 points.
Yeah, last time against the Lions, 6 points only in 12 minutes.
Yeah, and her average is 5.9, so Lions making a superstar out of her right now.
Deaton with 10 minutes on the game so far today. Already doubled her average.
Clark just wants the ball down low against Schweitzer. Can't get it.
Mark will take it instead. Another errant pass off the baseline.
Careless in the last couple possessions for the Lions.
Another careless pass, but this time from the Tigers, gives it right back to the Lions.
Interesting, the first 2 quarters were pretty dramatic changes between, performance on both sides, and now in this third, it's been pretty even.
It has. First quarter, Tigers outscored the Lions 23-10. Second quarter, Lions outscored the Tigers 22-12, and here we are Lions a 2-point advantage in this quarter as they trail by 1. Clark, 15-footer off the mark.
Good job getting the rebound by Ashby.
Holmberg down the lane, spin move. Rattles out, Schweitzer the old board, blocked by Clark again. Holmberg from downtown.
Good job by the shortest player on the court getting the rebound, Sequoia Ahmed.
Adams to Clark. No good. Whistle blown late and a foul. And Bradley Davis is fired up.
Kari Clark is 2 for 2 from the line. See if she can add to that. You know, her career high is not out of reach.
You're not wrong about that, and we'll see if she can hit it after the break. 43-42, Clark's at the line when we come back. Good. Hallelujah. We won't miss it. They haven't won there since 11-12 season. But that's a pretty, I mean, they got handily beat, which I'm surprised. Because they've been handing it to teams. Handing it.
Yeah, the letdown, right? Every once in a while you got letdown. Wow. Pacific came back on the offensive glass.
And welcome back to Gerson Pavilion. Lions trail by 1. Kari Clark at the line. And Gary, you're mentioning she could be nearing her career high. Career high 22 points that came in that amazing run she had in the WCC tournament. What was it, 2 years ago? That was the COVID year. Absolutely went off in those first 2 games for the Lions. As Gerson goes silent, so will I. She'll hit the first, but those were 2 remarkable games. And I remember having a conversation with both you and her when we saw that, saying, is this a different Kari coming to the table now? It was just an aggression, a confidence that we hadn't seen before as she knocks down the second, puts the Lions ahead by 1.
Yeah, and this was an important game for her, not only because it will help the Lions have a chance to win, but going in towards the end of the conference season, into the tournament, that's the Kari Clark they need.
And we're coming down the home stretch when it comes to games. Lions with a foul here. It's going to be on Sequoia Almond. But only 2 more road games. That's next week at San Diego and BYU. And then they're at home for the rest. They've got Pacific today, St. Mary's on Saturday, then 2 road, and they end the season on a 3-game homestand against teams that are well within their competition level. Pepperdine, who, although they didn't have a good showing, it's a team they always compete with. Santa Clara, who they've competed with many times. And San Francisco, who they took down for the first win. Now San Francisco is going to be hungry nonetheless, but Lions have a chance to really push as they head toward the tournament.
But you're really jockeying for tournament position in these last few games.
Well, and if you take a look at the standings right now, the bottom half is completely knotted up. It's like the Western Conference in the NBA right now. San Francisco in 5th place. Obviously, games have happened tonight, so this has changed a bit, but San Francisco coming into this 5-5. Lions at the bottom at 2-9. That's a 3-game difference.
Yeah.
Holmberg gets one home, and we're jockeying the lead once again. 45-44 now, 3:40 to go in this third quarter.
Schweitzer,
plenty of time.
Yeah,
left.
and Schweitzer's been a force down low. Even though she didn't score that bucket, she's helping to create opportunities. They're getting good looks. Pacific has switched to a zone and see if the Lions can figure it out, adjust their offensive set.
5 points, 4 rebounds for Schweitzer.
Uh-oh, 3-on-1.
Ashby off to Smith.
Ooh.
Rejected from
Ooh.
behind by Noelle Yancey.
Great block. There it is again. Nicole Yancey with a great block from behind.
Officials going to hold here as they look at who the foul was actually on. It's going to be on Deaton. Second personal, 4th team foul. So Lions nearing the bonus here in the third with just over 3 to go. They trail by 1 as that pass dipped away by Smith. Adams from the corner
Nice
knocks
shot.
it down.
Is this the largest lead of the game for the Lions?
It's got to be close to it.
Oh, don't leave her open.
Open or not, she'll fire away. Can't get the bucket to go. Lions have a chance to take a 2-possession lead, which would certainly be their largest of the game.
Coach Hughes calling for a set. Tigers back into man-to-man. This is their motion offense.
Whistle blown, foul called again against the Tigers, and Holmberg is confused by the call. Will be on Holmberg for 4th personal, 5th team foul. Sends the Lions to the line and sends Holmberg to the bench.
That
Sydney
4th
Ward
foul
into the game.
snuck up on me.
Yeah, it did. Not quite sure when that one got in there, but it did, and she's on the bench now with 4. So lots of foul trouble on the Tigers' side. Elliott with 3, Ennis with 3, Holmberg as well. And we haven't seen Ennis, Elliott since that 3rd foul.
Yeah, and Ennis, there's got to be something more than the fouls, because she could come back in and, just try and be careful. I can't believe that's why she's out. I think she might be nursing a somewhat injured ankle. Oh, lane
They're gonna
violation.
call lane violation
Yeah.
on Deaton.
See if that gives Oliver a chance to take advantage of a do-over. Nope.
Can't convert. Oh, but they get the offensive board. An even better opportunity.
You know who's been quiet? Alexis Mark.
Yeah. You're not wrong about
We
that.
haven't called her name recently. I don't think that's going to last for long.
Adams was looking for Mark on the drive. Instead, it's Almond. Flicks it up too much, though.
Yeah, the shot clock was down to 3. She had to get it off quick.
Deaton loses her dribble, pulled by Mark, and that's a foul.
And we get to call her name, just like that. You got 3 on Deaton or 4?
I believe it'll be 3. They're going to go to the bench, and they're going to take a look at this.
Are they considering
We'll
whether it's
take
flagrant?
a look at it again. Yeah, I think they will. It looked like Alexis may have gotten pulled from behind.
It's good to see Alexis remain calm. When you get pulled like that, you have a tendency to, react, and she remained calm. It's good to see. Lions have done a tremendous job in this, really, since the end of the first quarter, right? They've been outscoring.
Take a look at it again. Both going for the ball. Deaton got her hand behind Alexis. And
Was it her hair?
yeah, a full fist of Alexis Mark's hair.
I mean, in the football game, that would be called horse collar tackle.
Now take a look, a few angles here. sure this is what the officials are looking at as well.
That's tough. I mean, that could have caused an injury the way it pulled her back with her knee buckling.
Yeah, absolutely. Whether it's incidental or not, that's for the officials to decide. Certainly got a full fist of her hair there.
Yeah.
We'll see what they call on the other side. 47-45 here. So it's still a tight contest, but the energy feels different for the Lions.
Well, it's felt different since the beginning of the second quarter. They've outscored the Tigers. They've got 37-22 so far.
That was quick math.
Yeah, well,
that internal calculator, right?
You heard me hesitate. I was like, I ran out of fingers, so it became a little bit difficult. But anyway, you know, it's the energy differential. That's really been what has sparked the Lions, and it started with Alexis Mark in that second quarter, and it's really continued on.
Officials still taking a look at this one. Can we just give a shout out to Coach Shannon Golar's outfit? I mean, the whole bench is stunting, but come on.
Yeah, they are on fire, and let's see if when we get this sorted out, the Lions are able to continue the momentum that they had started to pick up with that turnover and then the foul. There's a lot of conferencing going on. You can see the refs talking to each other.
And Teresa Turner, Nicole Leone, and Alex Carroll still discussing.
Let's see if we get an update.
I think we will get an explanation here. All right, so you heard it there. Intentional foul on Katie Deaton. So it's going to be 2 shots from the line. It's going to be Alexis Mark shooting, and then it'll be LMU ball.
Definitely some foul trouble over there on the Tigers' side.
Absolutely. Mark's first is good. 48-45. We always appreciate the officials coming over, giving us an explanation. We're not the best speculators in the world as that ball touches every part of the rim. Sat up there for a second. Had a nice drink and then fell off.
1 for 2 from the line on that trip for Alexis Mark.
Officials going to hold play here as they discuss with the official scorer.
We'll switch up. Now Sequoia Alma will take the ball out. Oh, good look.
Mark blocked down low by Sydney Ward. The freshman got a full hand on that ball.
Yeah, I'm surprised because Alexis Mark usually skies over anybody down there.
Well, Sydney Ward clocking in at 6 foot, giving Alexis Mark a run for her money. Liz Smith down the baseline, loses her handle, regains it, fouls called, she'll go to the line.
That was a veteran play. She was able to get Aspen Adams out of position, go up, and got the contact.
Smith's first rattles home, brings the Tigers within 2. Tigers are in a scoring drought, 2.5 minutes from the field. Smith gives them life from the line, 48-47, 1:15 to go.
I think that was only the 4th free throw they've shot compared to 18 for the Lions.
Dump off to Clark, baseline J, not enough on it.
Yeah, she faded away.
Smith, the pull-up J, no good. Offensive board. Richardson came in untouched as Corey Clark swats that out the building.
Good block.
Lion faithful fired up.
Just when I was about to say the Tigers were hustling, Clark makes a good hustle play.
Clark's got my voice absolutely shot over here from all her blocks today. At least 3 off the top of my head. Five on the shot clock. Lions got to go to work. It's Nicole Rodriguez down the baseline. Kick to Mark for 3. No good. Kari Clark, the offensive board. Push from behind and a foul.
Schweitzer's looking around like, I didn't touch her. I didn't touch her. See if we
We'll
can
check
get the
here.
replay. Good look at a 3. Oh, there's a push in the back. I don't think Kari Clark fell on her own.
No, I maybe sold it a little.
Well, there's nothing wrong. We're in Hollywood. You got to do a little act. Clark with a chance to add to her team leading 16 points, I think.
Yeah. What amazes me about Clark, she's a fantastic basketball player, but it's more than that for her after this, getting a degree in chemistry.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even pass a chemistry class, let alone get a degree going into pharmaceutical science.
Yeah. I mean, that's a testament to her overall prowess as not only an athlete, but as a scholar.
Well, if you walk in the locker room days before she has a test, the whiteboard doesn't have plays on it. No. It's got functions and equations and all sorts of letters and numbers I've never seen in my life.
You got to love that.
Ashby, a
Nice move.
pretty shot inside. Clock will run out. Good thing for the Lions. They had a takeaway there from the Tigers. 50-49. Lions lead by 1. Their first lead headed to a break. We'll see more coming up next and some more swats from Kari Clark. And welcome back. Let's take a look at today's key moment brought to you by University Credit Union. And we weren't saying her name recently. Alexis Mark was all over this one.
Yeah, she creates a turnover there, and she's just, a dominant force when she's driving to the hoop like she did there.
Count it and the foul. A strong drive straight through traffic, and she's going to draw the foul every time she does that.
Yeah, although, you got to give credit to the Tigers. They were able to get a nice block on her. I think you said it was Sydney Ward. Surprising me that she was able to block Alexis Mark with a layup.
And that was today's key moment brought to you by University Credit Union. It's been a fun one here, Lions. Up by 1, 10 minutes to go. It's going to be key that they hold strong right here and have the same type of quarters they did in the second and third, not revert to what we saw for the first 10 of this game.
And we are now seeing Ennis back in the game.
As well as Elliott.
See what that does for the Tigers. It's going to be something for the Lions to account for because she is all over the place.
Starting 5 back on for the Tigers. Starting 4 minus Elliott. Add Yancey for the Lions. Gordon, offensive foul, drove that shoulder right into Ashby.
I think that's 3 on Gordon.
It is third personal.
Lions are in their 1-3-1. That's caused problems for the Tigers all game long.
Elliott from the elbow. Board right into the hands of Kari Clark.
It's going to be critical for the Lions to limit the offensive rebounds.
Gordon drove again, this time a block on Ashby.
That was sort of like the same play as the last time, except this time Ashby wasn't set.
So Ashby now in foul trouble as well. Nope, correction. We just heard third personal, but I don't think that is the case.
No, I don't think she has that many fouls yet. But
Rewind.
But there are a lot of foul problems on the Tigers' side.
Ennis with 3, Elliott with 3, both out there right now. Both veteran, smart players, but we'll see. The Lions can send them back to the bench. Elliott strips that away. It's going to be off a mark and Tiger ball.
Good double team.
Josephine Meillard, the senior out of Nancy, France, out of this game with an injury, firing up her squad from the bench. Elliott can't convert, bounces it off her head and gets her own board. Well, they've left Liz Smith wide open, and lucky she missed. You cannot do that. Gordon looks to answer. No good. Both squads gone cold here in the fourth. Rodriguez, knock
nice
it down.
Rodriguez, all of her points are coming from the three-point line. I think she's 4 for 7 from 3.
And she struggled from the field in these last few games. It's nice to see that rhythm coming back for Rodriguez.
What a turnaround, right? And what we thought would be an automatic Liz Smith 3 turns into a Nicole Rodriguez 3.
As Elliott sneaks under Clark and gets the bucket.
Good post moves by Elliott.
She's crafty down low, really is.
She is. I saw her pregame working on those post moves, and she put it into action right there against Clark.
Rarely puts the ball down. It's a lot of pivoting, getting under. Gordon, that's her shot.
That's her patented move right there. Oh, Liz Smith is coming fast.
No fouls called. Scoop shots up and in.
Nice shot. She put a little
Really
English
was.
on the ball.
Yeah. 55-53, a tight one here in Gerson with 7:55 to go.
Liz Smith with 15, Clark with 18, leading their teams. A lot of dribbling. Need to pass. They're most effective when they're passing it around.
10 on the shot clock. March somehow draws a foul, and Bradley Davis is beside himself with that call.
And that's going to be 4 on Ennis. Did she like pull the chair out?
Definitely a tough call.
Yeah.
That was.
Davis had to walk all the way to the baseline to avoid getting himself into trouble with the technical.
And that's going to fire Ennis up. If we see her back in this game, which presumably we will, what do you have to lose? One more foul.
Yeah, absolutely. There's certainly going to be something to talk about after the game with the free throw disparity. Oh, nice
Gordon!
move.
Offensive foul,
Oh, no. That was such a nice move. Davis doesn't seem to be upset on that call. He's good with that.
I think they're going to take a look at
Was
this.
she in the circle?
Potentially. We'll see. Not a timeout. They're going to review this play here.
And that's good. When you know you're in a tight game like this, you want to try and get those calls right.
I'm sure Bradley Davis is saying, can we review the last one?
I imagine he is.
Alexis Mark sold it well. You're right. Pulled the chair out from under. I mean,
That's
not
what-
sure Ennis could have stood more upright.
Well, she seemed to be backing away, and I maybe we're going to look at it again.
Take a look at this here.
Oh, she's definitely in the circle.
She is.
So if they reverse this call, it's going to be a bucket. Let's see what happens.
Take a look again. Liz Smith definitely in the restricted zone.
Cassie Gordon again showing her vert, right? We've talked about her high jump exploits in high school. You know, her athleticism is really top notch, and she hasn't had a great game, but she is picking it up here in the fourth quarter.
She's got 4 fouls if this stands, so that's something to watch. Hasn't had a great game, but still I think brings a presence on the court for this squad.
Oh, no doubt, and a fourth foul for her would be tough. She would have to go to the bench at least for a little while. That's going to put more pressure on the other members of the squad to step up in her absence. But I think they're going to reverse it.
Still 7:33 to go. They're taking a long look at this one.
No, they're not acting like it's been reversed. Given the way the Lions are walking back.
Should take a look at that again.
Alexis Mark's somersault.
You talk about athleticism. Alexis Mark has got it.
Oh, yeah. She and Cassie Gordon are two of the most athletic players in the WCC.
Oh, absolutely. And we've talked about Cassie Gordon. You brought it up, alluded to it right now. High jump champ in high school.
Yeah, I didn't give her her due. I didn't use the word champ. So they
did not reverse it. Call will stand.
So Cassie's out there with 4. Looks like she's going to get subbed out.
She will. Alexis Mark into the game.
I guess I don't understand. Do you have to have your feet entirely within the restricted zone? Like if you're out at all, does that mean it's legal?
We'll try and get an answer. Bradley Davis, I would be a little worried for Bradley Davis and his well-being in this moment if that call got reversed. Tigers just really haven't had him going their way, as that one is sent back the Lions' way.
Probably a good thing he doesn't hold a clipboard because he might have shattered it.
Do you blame him?
No.
No. Bradley Davis is one of the most respectable,
He's chill too.
calm
He's chill.
coaches, no matter the situation. So you know it's serious if Bradley Davis is fired up. If you watch him, it is just the most calm, cool, collected individual I've seen leading a squad, especially in this league, but really in college basketball.
It's physical out there right now. On the screens, you can see the players fighting through the screens, setting the screens. 5 seconds left. Gotta go.
That ball's out of bounds. Get the turnover. And get a cage for our camera operators. Goodness. Come on. It's Rodriguez right into him.
So it's been a bit of a lull here in the scoring. I don't think either team has been able to get points. We've got 5 for the Lions and 4 for the Tigers with 6:45 left.
Elliott working around the post moves as she draws a foul. Sequoia Almond will be called for it, and Elliott will go to the line. Her post moves are so strong.
Yeah, and I think everyone assumed it was going in, so there was no boxing out. And then when it popped out, she was the only one that was able to get the rebound.
Interesting, Rosie Schweitzer into the game for Sydney Ward. So add height to height that's already out there with Elizabeth Elliott. And power down low, too. Rosie Schweitzer has been physical down low for the squad.
She has.
Elliott's first is short.
Kari Clark's getting a breather. I expect to see her back in the game pretty soon. She's been a force down low, and with the bigs, they're going to need her to compete against Schweitzer and Elliott.
Elliott converts the second, brings the Tigers within 1.
Keep an eye on Diamond Richardson. Her defense has been really strong in the last couple minutes here.
Oh, pocket picked. Here come the Tigers. Oh, picked the other way. Here comes Alexis Mark. On the fast break to the cup and puts it home.
Well, just when we had talked about her being a little quiet, she's gotten loud.
Tigers step out of bounds, and we didn't get to see it, but Elizabeth Elliott and Amaya Oliver were battling for position down low. It's been a battle all day in the trenches. Take a look. You may see it here. It's a deflection and takeaway by Mark, and a good finish. That's the best part of that play. The steal, we know it's coming. The finish is what is crucial for Alexis Mark.
Yeah, and, you know, she's now got 11 points in the game. Destiny Samuel gave up her dribble. Nicole Rodriguez bailed her out.
Yancey off the pass from Rodriguez, and that's what started it.
I love that. I love that. Wonderful backdoor cut, pass.
Out of control are the Tigers on that possession. It's going to be a foul on Liz Smith. It's going to be her second personal, third team foul, and the Lion bench is fired up with that. Tigers just look out of sorts here. Seem to gain some confidence off that Elliott foul and trip to the line, but since then, it's been all Lions in the last few minutes.
And this is the Lions' biggest lead, right? At 5?
It is. They're 4 of their last 4. Tigers with 3 turnovers in the last minute, 4 in the last 2.5. Tells the story of these last few. Samuel driving down the lane, fouls called on Schweitzer.
Yeah, Schweitzer was out away from the bucket. She normally plays defense more down low, but Samuel forced her to come out, drove, got the foul.
Third personal on Schweitzer, so Deaton with 3, Schweitzer with 3, Elliott with 3.
And on the bench, Ennis with 4.
With 4, yeah.
And Holmberg with 4.
Holmberg with 4 as well, so foul trouble has plagued the Tigers here today.
Noelle Yancey coming off that great backdoor cut and bucket.
That ball's tapped away by Elliott. I think she took a shot to the face inadvertently. Foul's called on Yancey.
I hope Elliott's okay. She definitely took a shot to the face. It was completely inadvertent.
It looks like maybe a nosebleed. That's the foul on Yancey. Got into the body of Smith, didn't give her room to operate.
Yeah, that was clearly a foul.
Media timeout on the floor. We'll step aside. We'll be back in a moment. Lions lead by 5. There was that foul, but welcome back. Teams are going to stay at their benches as officials took a look at the play, presumably the play that sent Elizabeth Elliott to the bench. It's hard to see. There was lots of traffic down low.
Yeah, I definitely want Elizabeth Elliott to be okay. She took a hard shot. I didn't see it when it happened, but she clearly was in pain immediately after.
Athletic trainer Sarah Vargas for the Tigers, quick to work on Elizabeth Elliott and still working. Looks like maybe a nosebleed among some other hits to the face.
I think Ennis is coming back, it looks like.
Yeah, she subbed on for Elliott immediately before it went to the media.
So she's back on the court with 4 fouls.
It looks like the officials may assess some sort of penalty here. We'll hear. Thank you. So you did hear that. They went back to look at the unobserved contact, and it's going to be on Alexis Mark. And it's going to be, I guess, right there.
Yeah, is it right there? Because it certainly didn't look like it was intentional. I think that's what they called, right?
They did call, yeah.
Oh,
so it was the fist afterwards.
It was the follow through, yeah. That was definitely not. I didn't think it was intentional, but it certainly was a hard foul. Understandably, free throws for the Tigers.
Well, and we've seen this at all levels of the league. I don't know if it's in the wake of so many head injuries in other leagues, but contact to the head and neck area has certainly been a point of emphasis for officiating in terms of reviewing those types of plays and assessing penalties for acts, unintentional or not, whether it's called an intentional foul.
Yeah.
So it puts Liz Smith at the line where she hits 2 and brings the Tigers to 1 possession. Elizabeth Elliott still getting worked on the bench, but looks to be on the mend.
But I think it also now is 3 fouls on Alexis Mark, which is something to keep an eye on.
Ennis with 4 fouls, driving inside, puts up the shot, gets it to go.
Yeah, they missed that when she was on the bench. I've seen several plays from her driving hard to the right, kissing it off the glass.
4 minutes remain, just over 4 minutes.
That was 4 quick points there with the free throws and the drive.
Mark backing down Ashby, off the glass too much, trying to strip the rebound, jump ball, it's going the Tigers' way.
So Cassie Gordon coming back in, she's got those 4 fouls. Every possession critical down the stretch with a 1-point lead, 4:15 to go.
Well, and you mentioned it, the missed free throws from earlier on. We don't want to look back at it, but that's 4 free points, maybe a few more as well. Schweitzer and 1,
So
and the Tigers back in the lead.
Yeah, they got to be on a, 5-6 point run here?
Third personal on Yancey. She'll sit team limit for the Lions. So while it was a shooting foul, sends Schweitzer to the line. Every foul from here on out is headed to the line.
If Schweitzer makes this, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 7-0 run.
It is a 7-0 run.
In less than a minute.
49 seconds,
run
so
since she
6-0
missed it.
in the last 49. Ironically, Lions last 4 of their last 5, and the Tigers as well, 4 of their last 5. But a 6-0 run, last 49 seconds, has done the damage here.
And, 2 of those points came from the free throw line with the foul on Alexis Mark, followed by the Ennis bucket, and then just another bucket by Schweitzer.
Gordon has her shot stripped by Ashby.
Only 6 seconds.
The pull-up 2 rims out. That's her sweet spot.
And you've noticed no second chances for the Lions. The Tigers are cleaning the defensive glass.
Just over 3:30 to go in the contest. A 1-point lead for the Tigers. A chance to sweep the series against the Lions after being swept last year. Schweitzer to the cup and is fouled by Oliver.
So the tables have turned yet again. Whereas all the calls were going the Lions' way, they've now been going the Tigers' way.
Yep. Clear foul right on the arm. Got no ball. Not even close.
So the Tigers are shooting 67% from the line to 65% for the Lions.
Schweitzer avenges that last trip and knocks down the first, extends it to a 2-point lead, a chance to make it 3 here on this shot.
So this is now getting to be, a 8-point run?
It is 7-point run with the missed free throw. Two-point lead as the Lions look to snap their 6-game losing streak. It'd be a big win for the Lions and a confidence booster as they get set to host St. Mary's on Saturday.
Good defense by Ashby.
Say Ashby was out of bounds when she touched that ball, so it'll be Lion ball, baseline out of bounds.
Lions will be kicking themselves if they end up not being able to close this game out.
Rodriguez's pass goes off the rim, and it's tossed away. Ashby will push the other way. She doesn't have numbers, though. They'll reset up top. 2:45 to go in this one. It's Deaton down low off the glass and in.
This is a crucial time for the Lions to get a bucket.
Clark looking to drive on Schweitzer, kicks it out to Mark. 3 in the key called.
So really just sort of falling apart here for the Lions in the last 3 minutes or so. More reminiscent of the first quarter. Really, ever since that called foul on Elliott, the intentional foul, Pacific has picked it up, and the Lions have, kind of gone into a bit of a shell. Their energy dropped.
A much better showing in this outing against the Tigers than the last one. Lions fell last time by over 20. Right now they trail by 4. That pass thrown away. Schweitzer looked to save it, couldn't do so. Under 2 to go as the Lions trail by 4.
Need to see Clark get set up down low.
Gordon from the sweet spot.
Nice bucket by Cassie. Uh-oh, is her calf cramping?
It is. She's all taped up. She'll play on. 1:39 to go, and they need her on the court. Three Lions in double figures today. Clark leads the way with 18. Ashby to the cup and in.
She made a nice fake to the inside and got Rodriguez to bite, and then she was able to take it in for the layup.
Ennis tips it away off her hand. They'll stay Lion ball.
A little surprised Coach Hughes hasn't called a timeout here to get him set for the last 15 seconds on this shot clock.
Clark just beyond the free throw line. It rims out. Smith with the long touch. And a timeout's called by Bradley Davis. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here on the court. So you're down by 4 here. Obviously you need a stop and a bucket. But does a Pacific bucket put this game out of reach?
It wouldn't put it out of reach, but it would make it awfully tough, right? So I think right now you got to try and create a turnover. They've just gone cold. We're going to need to see the Lions step up their defensive intensity right here, right now. Make a stop, get the ball back.
Take a look at some Liz Smith highlights, our player to watch from Pacific. And we haven't seen her knocking it down from downtown like she was in the beginning, but she's been crucial in other ways today.
Yeah, and there was a nice no-look pass, classic textbook fast break. Look at her driving to the cup. That's when they really needed a bucket. She delivered for them. All right, Lions. Time to show up. Defensive intensity, pressure, create a turnover. Smart to get it into your best player, Liz Smith. You got to go for a steal. You can't just let tons of time run off the clock here.
Foul's called on Clark.
So that was a foul. Sometimes they let him play towards the end of the game, but at that point the Lions need to stop the clock. They got to get the ball back.
Here's one. We've talked about Kari scoring, her rebounding, her blocks. That's only her second foul. She had that early cheap foul, shouldn't have gotten. And since then, she has locked down and not gotten a second foul. How many games have we seen Kari gets that first foul? A couple minutes later, gets a second. She's on the bench till midway through the second quarter.
Yeah.
Coach has talked about it. And to see her hang in there, as physical as a game as this has been, and only get her second foul with under a minute to go in the game is quite remarkable.
No, that's a good sign. If Liz Smith is able to convert this, Lions still within 2 possessions.
She doesn't, but the offensive board goes to the Tigers. It's stripped away by Gordon, though.
So I think Deaton needed to set that back up, right? Kill clock. No,
Offensive foul on
no.
Clark. She extended the arms.
No. Lions were where they wanted to be. And you had just talked about it, right? It's the kind of calls that she had been getting too often.
Well, and it really, the screen's fine. It's the follow-through of the arms. When you see those arms shoot out directly 90 degrees in front of you, it's going to get called every time.
Yeah, so now, down 4, you got to go for this steal. You could try not to foul, see if you can get a turnover without extending things.
Pacific calls a timeout. We'll draw up a play here as they lead by 4. So still a chance for the Lions here. We'll take a look at some Kari Clark highlights here. She's had a day, her season high, 18 points, had 7 rebounds, and at least 3 blocks. It's just been a different confidence in her, and we've said that with a lot of these players. When they're playing confident, they're playing well.
You know, it's a strange thing, but to me, it's really all about energy. When they're playing with energy, when they're playing with intensity, they just are much more effective. But they hit these little lulls. The first quarter was a lull, and then we've seen this lull in the back half of this fourth quarter ever since Alexis Marker called for the intentional foul on Elizabeth Elliott.
Tigers will run clock. Clark will foul.
So that's 4 on her.
No one else was out to foul, so she had to do it. Mark also with 3, Almond with 3, Gordon with 4. Only player that's not in foul trouble on the court is Oliver with 1. So no matter who fouls, they're putting themselves in trouble.
Liz Smith just missed both of her prior free throws. No problem with this one. Got to get the 3-point specialist in the game if you're the Lions. And we see Nicole Rodriguez and Aspen Adams getting ready to check in.
She'll knock the second down. 6-point lead. Coach Hughes calls the timeout. Will advance that ball and take a full 60-second timeout.
Look at this, Brendan. 13-2 run in the last 4:28.
That'll make a massive difference. Next up for your Lions, it's going to be the St. Mary's Gales. That game will be here at 3 p.m. Come join us in person for Youth Day and National Girls and Women's in Sports Day. We got a fun surprise game coming up called Who's That Baller, Gary? Going to be guessing some fun pictures from back in the day with our squad. In-house, we're going to have a lot of activities.
That on Saturday?
We are doing it on Saturday.
That's
You didn't know about it, but you can join us here for just $2. $2. I'll give you $2 if you come on down and come see this game.
You're not saying you're going to give everybody $2.
Well, I won't be out there. They'll have no idea.
Oh, okay. All right. I just making sure I understand. Don't want you making promises.
Don't give away a magician's secrets. Either way, the Lions will be back here on Saturday, and certainly we fired up. Now, what's tough to say here is the Lions are 8-1 of their last 9. That one win was long ago at the beginning of January against the St. Mary's Gales. It was a close win, but that was their last victory.
Wow.
All the way back in Moraga.
They need a victory badly.
And like we said, as you head into conference, a better seeding is not out of reach. Obviously, the bottom 4 seeds play on Thursday, day 1, no matter what. But the 5th and 6th seeds with the team that's 5-5, a team that's 4 and some change right above them.
Got to shoot. You need to shoot.
Liz Smith went flying. Offensive foul called, and I completely missed it. Cassie Gordon's down with a cramp, and this game is seems to be falling apart for the Lions.
Was that a frustration foul? I really couldn't see what happened.
Cassie Gordon writhing in pain on the side, a calf cramp, something she struggled with in the past, certainly.
Let's see if we can see what happened. I still didn't see it.
I didn't either, but Cassie Gordon clearly cramped up going up, so we saw that.
Calf cramps are incredibly
She's in some
painful.
serious pain on the sideline.
I didn't see how Liz Smith ended up on the ground, though.
I didn't either, but she was flying off to the side.
So you feel for Cassie. She's been giving it her all out there. She's taped up. Those cramps are incredibly painful. Trying to get her to stretch it out. And this is one that I feel the Lions will look back and say they let get away. Other games that they've lost during this streak, they were never really in it. That's not the case tonight.
Bradley Davis calls a timeout here to advance the ball. 20 seconds to go as the Lions trail by 6. And Mia McCarthy will, along with Kevin Stark, will work on Cassie Gordon. We'll step aside for a moment. We'll be right back.
At University Credit Union, we're a different kind of financial institution because we were founded over 70 years ago by the university community for the university community. Our experts put our member owners first by offering personalized advice on savings and investing and competitive loan rates to help you on your financial journey. Bank with your brain and get a financial advantage because you deserve more than a bank. You deserve a partner committed to your financial success. Learn more and join today at ucu.org.
Welcome back after the break. Cassie Gordon still getting worked on, and we're still here at the timeout. 67-61, 20 seconds to go. I think a bucket puts this one out of reach.
Yeah, I mean, it's largely out of reach right now, just given the way the Tigers have been handling their business on their end, the struggles for the Lions. One of their scorers, Cassie Gordon, now on the bench nursing a calf cramp. If the Lions could get a turnover here, still have a shot. That's
Schweitzer, that's 5 on Clark, yep. She'll head to the bench. Presumably Destiny Samuel, Amaya Oliver will come into the game. And Amaya Oliver up off the bench and into the game.
You know, overall, great performance by Kari Clark. A couple of fouls at the end here that hurt, but, you know, she had 18 points, 7 rebounds, strong performance.
Schweitzer knocks down the first.
I tell you what, this is going to be painful for the Lions, but they have to feel like they can compete with this team if they face them in the tournament.
Oh, and this is a very good Pacific team. Their record doesn't reflect it. 30-second timeout by Coach Hughes and Lions. Just went to BYU and absolutely handed it to the Cougars.
One tough thing to recognize, though, is that Anaya James has not been playing for the Tigers. And she's a difference maker, right? There's no doubt about it. So for the Lions to be unable to capitalize with her out of the game, that's daunting.
Well, Liz Smith been leading the way, 13.8 points on average this season. Anaya James, right behind her, 11.5, has not played this game and the prior game. But even against the Lions in that last game, Anaya James really wasn't the star player. It was a team effort all across the board for the Tigers.
The Lions need a quick 3. Still too late, though.
Confusion on the offensive end. That's going to put this one in the freezer. And the Lions will look ahead to Saturday when they face the Gales. Mark fires a 3 just for good measure. No good. Smith pulls the board, and the horn will sound. That'll end things here from Gersten. The Tigers sweep the season series against the Lions. Final score here, 69-61. Coming up next, it's going to be St. Mary's on Saturday. We'll be joined by Nicole Rodriguez in just a moment. We'll step aside. Nicole Rodriguez coming up next. We'll talk about the change from the first quarter to the second quarter. What changed for you guys? Because you got outscored by 13 in the first and outscored them by 10. Big energy change. I asked you about Kari because she played extremely well today. Finding your mojo from shooting, especially from 3, and then looking ahead to St. Mary's.
Wait, what? You said there's a big difference in the first.
From the first to the second, you guys got outscored by 13 in the first, and then you outscored them by 10 in the second, and in the third, you outscored them by 6 as well. So that middle part of the game, it seems like it's shifted this season, whether it's the first, there's always a quarter that's a struggle, but today you guys really capitalized second and third, so we'll focus on that. 30 seconds. Welcome back to Gerson Pavilion. Lions fall to the Tigers 69-61. We're now joined by Nicole Rodriguez. And Nick, this was a tough game for you guys, a team that you guys really struggled with on the road. First quarter was a bit of a struggle. Second quarter, things really turned around. What did you see from your vantage point that was the difference maker between the first and second?
Yeah, we definitely picked up our defensive energy. We're definitely a defensive team once we get going. You know, every team that we play, they tend to score like below their average. So once we're more aggressive on defense, then that's what gets us going on offense.
Absolutely. And you talk about getting going on offense. Your shooting this season has been phenomenal. Last few games, it felt like you lost your rhythm. Today, it seemed to pick back up. What changed for you, and how are you finding that rhythm and weathering the storms that come?
Yeah, I mean, shooters shoot, so I just got to keep shooting. You know, eventually it's going to go in. My teammates trust me, coaches trust me, so just got to stay confident.
And Kari Clark today was phenomenal, both on the offensive and defensive end. How has someone like her changed the energy that you're talking about in these games?
Yeah, Kari brings it every single day to practice, no matter what. She's always the one getting on us, bringing the energy, hyping everybody up before the game. Like, she's definitely the core to our team and gets us going all the time.
You guys are going to have to pull together. You have another game on Saturday, quick turnaround. St. Mary's, a team that you guys have already beat this season. How can you build off of this momentum and energy that you had and put it towards Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, St. Mary's another good team, but we always going to compete with everybody. Continue to take our shots with confidence. We've been struggling on the boards a little bit, so I think our main focus is always going to be defense, rebounding, and we should be good. So,
Nick, fantastic game. Thank you so much. We'll see you here on Saturday.
Thank you.
That was Nicole Rodriguez, everybody. We'll wrap things up here from Gerson Pavilion. Some final stats as we close things out. Nicole Rodriguez, I call her Nick, but Nicole Rodriguez ends the night 12 points, 4-10 from the field, 4-7 from downtown. Kari Clark leading the way for the Lions, 18 points, 6-13 from the field, 3 blocks, and a perfect 6 for 6 from the line. She's followed up by Alexis Mark with 11 points. On the other side, it's Liz Smith, 19 points, 5-13 from the field, 7 rebounds for good measure. Katie Deaton also with double figures, 12 points. Rosie Schweitzer with 10 of her own. It's been a pleasure having you along for the broadcast. On behalf of our entire team, Director Sam Tavares, Producer Sarah King, Executive Producer Ken Pineda, our engineer Jeff, my co-commentator Gary Craig, I'm Brendan Craig saying so long from Gerson Pavilion. You've been watching a presentation of LMU Women's Basketball on the WCC Network. We'll see you back here on Saturday for some more action as the Lions fall here tonight, 69-61. So long from the Bluff.